Welcome back. One of the issues that's creating a lot of buzz in the media industry here is what the next frontier of Pakistani journalism is going to be. And to discuss that and more, we have with us longtime columnist Nadeem Paracha and desk editor Gurutulain of Dawn.com. Thanks so much for joining us. My first question to both of you is, do you think that the internet has killed or is killing the newspaper?
Question is, has it killed the print media? I don't think so. And I don't think it'll ever happen, because if you read the history of print journalism, there have been talk about print journalism dying and reading dying since, I think, the 19th century. So, of course, there are certain concerns, and those concerns are basically commercial, that the fear is that now the advertisers, which contribute a lot to print media, will shift their focus from print to either electronic journalism like television or net journalism. I think that's the biggest concern, but I really don't think the net would completely sort of annihilate print journalism. I don't think that'll happen, because there are still people out there who rather sort of sit in their chair, lie on their bed or on the breakfast table and read. You know, it's a different thing. But I don't think I think there's a challenge for the print media out there, but I don't see it dying as such.
Okay. In the West, though, because of sort of the declining circulation, a lot of newspapers have either shut down, or some things like sort of the Christian Science Monitor has actually gone on to do just an online version only. Do you think that that's something that could happen in Pakistan at all, or, you know, not?
It depends. Let me give you an example of, let's say, books. For example, the thing is, if print journalism is dying, that means automatically should mean that the books are dying as well. But in Pakistan, at least, this much I know, and maybe in India, bookshops, whatever little they are, they're really thriving. Mm-hmm. You know, they're really thriving. Reading is, you know, people, you can actually go to a bookshop and see that people, they're interested in reading. So my question is, of course, like I said, whenever there are challenges, some people don't last those challenges and don't survive. But like I said, I don't see, let's say, established print journalism in Pakistan and in India just dying out. It cannot be. There'll always be people out there who will go out and buy the newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that, I mean, having said that, newspaper circulation is in decline even here. Do you think there's something that can be done to stem this tide?
Well, I think since I've been associated with print journalism for about 15, 16 years now, I think newspapers at the moment, what they're trying to do is they're trying to sort of reformat the style of writing. Like, for example, I do a weekly column for Dawn, and my editors over there keep telling me to keep it short, sharp, you know, and in the same way, now I get away with using, let's say, for example, a lot of slang, which Dawn, let's say, even 5 years ago, would never ever even dream of printing. I think it is affecting print journalism in this aspect, as far as style and content is concerned. But I don't think it's going to affect it in a way. Of course, there is going to be a decline, but I don't think it's going to affect the print journalism in a way that it'll just vanish one day. You won't see a Dawn or news come out.
Okay. Let's go into the background of this. How did sort of this internet revolution really gather steam in the first place? You know, how did it stage this coup of sorts over print?
It hasn't done that exactly, but at least not in Pakistan. Yeah. But it has happened elsewhere in the world. And what happens is that when you're online, when you're looking for news and you go to news websites, you get the news instantly and you don't have to wait for the morning newspaper. So for that time it's fine, but just like Nadeem said, when I wake up on a Sunday morning, I want to read my newspaper, and rather than going online and checking the website.
Okay.
So.
Dawn.com is Pakistan's first news portal. How is it different from any other news
Well,
website?
it's different in the sense that we follow the same sort of format and thinking and editorial policy and that Dawn does. We really, really focus on maintaining neutrality.
You're a seasoned journalist, and you've actually seen this progression in other parts of the world, mainly, from print to online journalism. Do you think that you have a wider audience in your online for your online columns?
It's been very interesting since I have one foot on online journalism and one foot still stuck in the print. Definitely, there's definitely what I feel. The feedback is the nature and the profile of readership is comparatively different, and I don't know how much I can sort of say that with me now moving to Dawn.com as well, if I'm getting far more readership compared to what I get with Dawn newspaper. I don't know, I don't have the figures, but sometimes I do feel yes, because it's easy, like anybody can go and sort of click and get onto the website.
That is right, but I think that writing for an online portal gives you a very diverse audience.
It does, I agree with you. It does give me a very diverse, the sort of audience I haven't been able to profile myself.
Okay, just to cap this off, I'm wondering, what do you think if in time people keep saying that, newspapers are going to become extinct? We don't know that for sure, but what do you think that, the legacy of the newspaper is going to be? Like, what are we going to lose out on if we lose out on newspapers?
Well, I'm hoping we don't.
Yeah.
And I'm almost convinced that we won't. The print medium will always be there. What is going to happen is, and because of the internet, there's a lot of intellectual laziness that is crept in. People don't want to go out there in a library, open a book and research. People don't go even on the net. And let's say, for example, I wonder if a lot of kids know that there's a section in Google called Scholar. They'll Google the main stuff, but they have to go to Scholar, where Google actually sort of offers you well-written papers on certain subjects. But again, 70% of them, what it offers is out there, but it asks for money, which is fair enough. People, if they keep getting intellectually lazy, that is when I think the print media is in trouble. So I think the print media has to look into this attitude, try to sort of change this attitude, or do something, work around this attitude to survive. But I'm sure it'll survive, because once you get older, the net doesn't sort of seem so serious to you as such. You can use it for research, you can use it for, it's a fantastic thing and it'll always be there. But you always go back to the book or the newspaper, a good newspaper, and it'll always be the case.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a quick break now, but coming up on the other side, we're looking at the situation abroad, so don't go anywhere.